All right, I've been thinking about this one all day, and if I don't do it right now, before it gets too late, I am not going to do it. I want to offer this in the auction. Yeah. Okay, so all I gotta do basically is repair this tip or do damage control. It doesn't really need to be repaired, it just needs to look better. It's all cosmetic. Because I can sharpen it right now and it'll be fine. if you wanted to use it for something. But it doesn't look all that great, so I'm going to be trying to make it look a little better. And I'm going to go slow because it's all a matter of getting used to the material, whether I can clean this up or not. If I can't get used to it, if I don't learn its little quirks, it's not going to look right. And I usually have trouble with tips anyway, so that doubles the trouble. Okay. Yeah, I like that side. But early on, I already pretty much shaped the surface here. I don't need to mess with this at all. But on this side, it was always being very crunchy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over it with a pressure flaker first. Yeah, see how that works. I think that'll be okay. I forgot to put my gaiters on. Hold on. Usually when I forget to put these on is when I get something down in my shoe that I don't find out until it's too late. Yeah, usually it's okay. You know, I can nap with my regular shoes on. I like this kind of shoe instead of wearing a boot. Yeah, boots mess with my ankles. And yeah, I think it's the autism that makes me like sensitive to certain things. Yeah. All right. There's no reason for me not to like boots other than just being too sensitive. You know what? This is gonna be awkward to pressure flake. Again, I'm sensitive to these little quirks. So I am going to not do it with pressure. After all, let's see if I can do this with a smaller rod. I think this is a 1/4-inch rod. 1/4-inch diameter. No. It's 5/16. Yeah. A little bit bigger than 1/4-inch. 1/4-inch will bend. I don't want it to bend. Yeah, okay. Just gotta take it easy. Don't get too excited. Don't nap on it when it's too delicate. Don't forget to grind it. Oops. How much pressure do I put on beforehand? Just enough to get it seated. There's a slight amount of pressure, but not much at all. Just so it'll seat and not move around a little. Just so it sits right on there. Yeah. Don't ask me how much poundage it is, because I think it's very slight in ounces. Yeah. Or less. See, that's what I'm trying to avoid. And I get that kind of step fracture regardless of the size of the point. It's when I try to dig in too much. And I don't know why I have trouble recognizing how much to dig in on the points, on the tips of these. I should have no problems, but I do. Someone said, why don't I isolate better? Yeah. And I responded by saying I would have to change it up to figure out how to isolate it better. Because, you know, you can say that isolating it better would work. And it's a good it's a good bit of advice. Yeah, I mean, it's great advice. But what does that mean exactly? How to isolate these better? That's the trick. And it's something that's better for one person might not be better for another person. Just saying, it's not bad advice. It's just a matter of figuring out how to tweak it to work for you or to work for me. That's the problem. It's not the advice. It's the problem is implementing it. Yeah. And it would probably be better overall if I isolate. Yeah. In the past, I didn't do it because, or I haven't been doing it because it takes extra time to do it. Yeah. It's not really related to that thing where I have to overcome the learning curve. That is a thing, but that's not the primary reason why I don't isolate. It's because there's a learning curve and it takes more time. I'm more opportunistic. Yeah. It's so crunchy. And I don't always take large flakes. No, don't always need to take large flakes. I'm trimming that side down. Hopefully not creating too many step fractures. Because I need to run more flakes. And it's not symmetrical. This is also the easiest way to sharpen it. Just downward strikes or downward pressure to create these jaggedy edges. Simplest way to sharpen it. But I don't even teach that way. I've noticed some other knappers use this type of sharpening exclusively. But I don't even teach this way. I mean, this is similar to the beveling, and you have a similar beveling effect. But with beveling, at least you prepare this top edge first to be extremely flat, and then you bevel it. Because then the beveling will be nice and even. And a nice even edge, even if it might be curved a little bit, an even edge slices better. Because what you want is the ability to cut. That's the main purpose. Otherwise, why would you make a blade out of it? You just make, if you just want the design of it, like a long piece for ceremony, you wouldn't need to sharpen it. Why would you use something like this for ceremony? Well, even today, there are some people that believe certain types of stones hold certain energies. So maybe they believe this type of stone held the energy of the volcano because they knew that you'd find this stuff near volcanoes or near where volcanic activity had been. I think they were smart enough to figure that out. Or even if they didn't know it was from volcanic activity, they find this stuff in mountains that have volcanoes nearby, for example. So it's associated in some way. I could figure that out. Same with any other type of stone. If there was something special in that spot, superstition says that if you use material from that spot, it may be as blessed as the spot itself. Yeah. All right. I need to strike from this side. I've looked at this, and these are long shots. I can take thinning flakes a little bit, but short ones. These, to repair this stuff, requires long shots from this side, shorter shots from this side. So I think it would probably be better. Let's see. I got to raise the camera up a little bit so I can capture the whole length of this blade. Hold on. I'm seeing that the blade is not fully within the frame. Is that too far away? You can zoom in, touch the screen and zoom in. Zzz. Yeah, just spread your fingers like that and it'll zoom in. As long as it's, and it'll be useful as long as it's not blurry, as long as I pay attention to it. Make sure it doesn't get all blurry by trying to not put this hand in front of the camera. It's hard, I know. Difficult. All right, do I have clear shots? I don't have clear shots. I'll have to fix that edge a little bit or bring it more this way. Yeah, okay. It's going to be slow. I'm going to gradually tap it. Instead of pressure flaking it. Pressure flaking might be a little more precise, fancy, but with a long blade like this, it feels a little awkward. And for me, if anything feels a little awkward, I mess it up. Yep. Even with lots of time behind the wheel, so to speak. If it has a little quirks, like just being difficult to hold on to, it's kind of slippery too. To pressure flake it, I will mess it up. Yeah, I will admit that I do mess these things up. And I've done it on video too. Yeah, I think there's a couple places in here that look a little bit better, but still not that great as far as opportunistic attacks. Dang it. I used up most of my good opportunities. Yeah, I'm going to have to shoot a flake this way. I don't see any good angle of attack here. Not yet. After I do some more contouring, maybe I can see a good opportunity. Let me see what I'm going to do here. It's going to be a strike that requires a lot of energy. But I risk taking a bite out. Yeah. Oh well. Hate to do it. One of those laws of the West. Let's see if it did it. What did it do? Oh, my goodness. Did it do something good? It reached all the way and took a little bit off. See how that edge right there doesn't have any grinding? It took a little bit of that off. And that was see, where did I shoot? Yeah, actually, this is the middle. It took off some off that side. I figured that would be right opposite of where I was, opposite of the direction that I was striking, but I struck in this direction. Yeah, you can see by the ripples where the direction of strike is. Maybe I should have angled it more up this way. But see, I've got another ridge now here. So it's lucky. It's lucky I didn't aim it properly because now I got a good ridge. If I had shot it this way, I was hoping to take off this area behind the step fracture and get to this up here. All right, so let's try this again. This time, see if we can get two good flakes in a row. Get rid of the delicate areas by just brushing. Yeah. Let's see if it did it. What did it do? You got a steppity-doodah? You don't know what a steppity-doodah is? It was sneaky in that it didn't do what it should have done. It didn't completely go that way, although I did angle it pretty much that way. It still went this way instead, created step fractures, and didn't take out the back side of that step fracture. Oh well, let's see what we got. I got to pick that out. All right, so yeah. Are we making progress? We're making some progress. It's not all that great, but it's getting thinner. I know that's not much consolation. All right. Some people will say, that would be everything to me because I don't get them thin. How can it be no consolation? Well, if I mess it up because it's too thin, it's bad. You know, if it gets really thin and I get a step fracture in a thin area, there's no way to repair it. Just gotta live with it. Or break it while trying to eliminate the obstacle. That solves the problem, yes. Not in a good way. But it does solve it. You might say, well, solutions have to be all good. Who says? Who said solutions have to be all good? As long as it's a solution. Of course, it's terrible to live with a bad solution. Yeah. It's terrible. Feels terrible. Especially if you got sensitivities. You might say, wait a minute, are you sensitive to sensitivities now? No, I acknowledge the sensitivities. Okay? I'm not sensitive to sensitivities. You got sensitivities, that's your issue. Yeah. It doesn't bug me if you got sensitivities. All right, so that took care of the backside of that step fracture. Now let's see if I can just run short flakes to take care of some of this stuff. Yes, no. Starting to get on my nerves. Oh yeah, starting to get on my nerves. But that happened a while ago. It's happening right now. I can just see it. Bunch of little step fracturings. If you say it, it's going to happen. All right, all right, all right. It doesn't always happen like that. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Although it does increase the chances, doesn't mean it's going to happen though. That's what I gotta tell myself. Yeah, it does increase the chances. If you're thinking about the stupid thing happening, the chances of the stupid thing happening have just increased. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way things work. Let's see if that did something. Oh, it did something. Haha. It's almost like butterfly wings too. Look at that. There's a moth in there, or a butterfly, right? Moth. I'm gonna take a picture of that for the thumbnail. Look at that. What is it? Remember the days, I don't know if they still do it or if they did it at all, but remember when they would show movies when they were doing psychiatric tests to people, they would show images like ink blots, I think they called them, where just random images made from putting ink in a fold. When you fold paper like that and open it back up, you put ink in the fold and then you fold the paper back over, and then when you open it up, there's a random pattern. It's mirrored, right? Anyway, the psychiatrist would show the patients that, and they would say, what is it? They would ask, what is this? And everyone would say, butterfly, butterfly, forest, you know, the typical things. And then memes started going around where some people would say, nothing but one thing. What does this represent? Ice cream? What's the next one? Ice cream. What's the next one? Ice cream. Yeah. Those are funny memes, funny times. Back when you could make fun of tests for the insane and not have to worry about it. Now it's like, you shouldn't make fun of people like that. They think everything looks like ice cream. What about their feelings? Yeah. I gotta acknowledge that they do have feelings. But I tend to only acknowledge that when it comes to Flintknapping. In other things, I don't know. I'm not as well versed. Yeah, I guess I should stay in my lane and only focus on Flintknapping. Yeah. Both because, well, for two reasons. One, I know about Flintknapping, and number two, I think it'd be less irritating and less annoying. I tend to annoy people. Some people. Some people love the chit chat, and I love that they love the chit chat. But some people hate it, and I think it's funny that they hate it. Yep. I think it's funny that I think it's funny. So it spirals into being really funny. It's hilarious. Until I look at the numbers. I looked at the numbers again today. It seems like most of my view time, when people watch the video for a length of time, most of the long time or the lengthy time viewers are new and not my subscribers. 60-something% of the people who watch my videos the longest are brand new. My subscribers are not watching it. Are not the ones that are watching for long periods of time. I think what they're doing, my subscribers are selectively watching certain things. So they got it narrowed down. Is they only want to watch certain things? That's what I'm thinking. Some of you longtime subscribers, is that what you do? Or you can give me some insight? Tell me why that is. Why do you think that it's the new guys that are watching more of the videos? I thought those guys would be just scrolling through, and I'd be lucky to catch their attention. And they're non-subscribers. Did I say that? I said new, but what I meant was non-subscribers. Yeah. The non-subscribers are watching longer than the subscribers. 63% of my long-time views are non-subscribers. Maybe you guys can figure that one out. Why is it important that you watch the videos for long periods of time? Because it affects the algorithm that promotes your videos. If YouTube sees that you have engagement or long periods of viewing, they tend to put your videos in a certain order. The more interesting the videos are to the audience, the higher in the order they put them in the searches. It just makes sense, which is good. Because then it's merit-based. It's pretty much merit-based as far as the order in which videos appear in the searches or in the recommendations too. Yeah, I don't mind that. So I want to know, what is it that you're watching if you're a subscriber? Are you being selective? Or the data's not right? Maybe the data is not right. Maybe they just want me to shift to new viewer. Catering to new viewers. Maybe they want me to shift by trying to fool me that that's where I should be focusing. Yeah. It's possible. If the analytics are not going to tell me much, I'm not going to continue to look at them. Yeah, I probably shouldn't look at them anyway. But, you know, I got to do it. Curiosity always brings me over there. Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm going to quit messing with it. I've got a few things that I can pop out, I think. Yeah. Let's see. I think you can see. Let's see. I think you can see. Let's see. I think you can see. That was the last little booger right there. It's thin enough to snap off at any time, so I'm not going to mess with it. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm not going to thin it, I'm going to sharpen it off camera. Yeah, because I need to go inside. Yep. I'm going to sharpen it off camera and try to get rid of some of these spots like that. But it's hard for me to do that and still concentrate on keeping it in frame. Like when I'm pressure flaking, it's the hardest part to try to keep focused, because it never fails. I look at the viewfinder, everything's in focus, and as soon as I start doing this, it goes out of focus because it's focusing on this hand. Even if I scoot this hand way over here, for some reason it fixates on my thumb and this gets blurry. Not always, but that's what happens. So, and that I'm always looking back and forth, back and forth. So if I sharpen this off camera, I think they'll be more successful in making this more pretty up here. Yeah. But anyway, there you go. That's it. I got all the major defects out. Yeah. It's just one boogery spot right here that I'm worried about. Right there. Once I start pressure flaking and sharpening it, there may be an avenue of attack to get this one little boogery spot. Where is it? Well, there's two of them. The one I just picked at still needs a little bit of cleaning up, but this one here is the worst one. That one. Although they didn't pay too much attention to those back in the day. It just doesn't look right on a nice clean blade. All right, how much or how long is it? 7 7/8. I don't know how long it was before. 2 3/4. Let's see, and the width to thickness ratio. The fattest part is right there, where it should be, like 1/3 up the blade. I think that's the ideal place for it to be fattest. That's 70. Yeah, 7/1. It's 10 millimeters thick by 70. 7/1. Easy. Nice, I like it. Yeah. I'm just going to leave the base flat. Okay, there you go. I didn't break it. Quick, put away the tools before you drop it on the tools. Should I make a arrowhead out of this butterfly? The piece of the butterfly? Or the bat? Looks like a bat almost, also. That's a moth. Okay. I will save it. I'll put it in the Brooks and My Faces middle box. Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's it.